Bravo, Sean Murray. Bravo and a half, bro. Finally, we have virtual reality coming to No Man's Sky. So now we're getting in that whole realm of, now we're getting things that we sort of always dreamed of coming to this game, but never really knew if it was really going to happen. So they made their official announcement that yes, No Man's Sky is going to get virtual reality with their Beyond update. Now, what's interesting about this is that's on top of all the other stuff we're going to be getting with Beyond too. I think Beyond is going to be the biggest update by far, for sure, man. Like, there's no doubt about it, because this is just one of the three pillars, okay? So the first sort of pillar that they announced for Beyond was the whole No Man's Sky online mode, which is trying to be like the full-blown multiplayer mode that we all expected to be in No Man's Sky at the beginning. They're really trying to put that in there, so that's going to be coming with Beyond. And also, now with them announcing the virtual reality, that's just another pillar that's going to be coming out with Beyond as well. And they actually have another big pillar that's going to be coming out with Beyond 2 that they haven't really announced yet. So this is just insane in every way, dude. This is going to do so much for this game, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be the first time that I actually really go in there and invest in virtual reality. This is going to be the first game that I really go in there and play in virtual reality. I haven't done it before. I haven't gotten the PlayStation VR headset or the Oculus or any of that kind of stuff. I haven't gotten any of that before because they've always just been those weird little, like, it won't be that original game. It'll be like super dumbed down graphics, won't be a whole lot to it kind of stuff. And I felt like it was going to take them quite a few years with virtual reality before they really got it figured out and really started getting cool, full games with it and stuff. But this is the crazy part about the virtual reality in No Man's Sky with Beyond. Okay, listen to this, right? So there is no difference from the actual normal version of No Man's Sky, the normal PS4 version or PC version. There's no difference in that than in the VR version of the game. There's absolutely zero difference. It's not a port in any kind of way. You see what I'm saying? It even goes as far as to say that it's going to be so much as the exact experience that you can even play multiplayer with people that aren't in VR, right? So you can be in there in VR waving at people, and they're over there on the other side of the planet, and they're not even in VR at all. So you're seeing the exact same everything. You're in the exact same game, exact same experience. So this is, oh my God, dude. Like, I can't even explain how massive this is for this game. It is just so... And not just the VR in itself, but everything that's coming with Beyond, and the way they're seeming to just have so much passion behind this game and still pushing this game so hard, and their updates being completely free. I mean, I'm telling you guys, this game has so much potential. It had it from the jump. It's just obviously they made some mistakes, had some issues, but I've never seen it. I don't know if I've ever seen a game company do what Hello Games is doing with No Man's Sky with all the updates. Not just mentioning all the stuff they've already done with the updates with Foundation, Next, all the different, they've added so much to this game. They really have done a lot to try to make it that experience that they promised you from the beginning. I don't know if it's quite there yet. I don't know if it's that exact experience, those exact E3 planets like we were thinking from the beginning, but and all the little intricacies and, like mysterious things that you would find on the planets and the humongous creatures and there's a couple of things I still think they might be missing, but what I will say is I think we will get that game eventually. And just going in here and seeing how they're really going to push the multiplayer like we all expected it to be at the beginning, and how they're adding full-blown VR support, right? This is not some little dumbed-down, just hop in there on one planet and the graphics look like Play-Doh and, some stupid little VR. This is the full game in VR, dude. Like, people don't understand how amazing of a virtual reality. It's the perfect game for it. It truly is. It's the absolute most perfect game you could possibly have in VR. And I think we all thought that at the beginning, and that's why we were all kind of getting excited for that, because it was like, dude, this is the, and I still get people commenting on my videos to this day, like, what's the point of No Man's Sky, Spencer? Like, I still don't even understand the point of this game. You know, what's going on with this game? What's the point? There's so many different facets and different things you can do in the game. It really is a full-blown do whatever the hell you want to do kind of game, especially now with the base building and the... I mean, there is so much you can do in the vehicles and building racetracks and the whole 9 yards. There's so much to it, right? But really, in my eyes, the point of No Man's Sky is you're Christopher Columbus of outer space, literally, in a video game, okay? Imagine this, right? If you don't really know No Man's Sky, imagine 16 quintillion planets, okay? Full life-size planets. 16 quintillion, you can't even fathom that number, it's so big, okay? 16 quintillion life-size planets, right? Take you literal days of in-game gameplay time to actually walk around these planets. That's how freaking big they are, dog. You see what I'm saying? Okay, and every single one of them is different, right? That means different biomes, different plants, different creatures, procedurally generated everything, procedurally generated, you know, lakes, ponds, oceans, different kinds of, like I said, rocks, ruins. There's all these different things. That's really the point of it, in my opinion. It's the first game that you can actually truly just discover. You know, you're discovering planets that maybe no one has ever been to before in the game, because there's so many planets and it's all procedurally generated. So that's really the point of it. So you could start to understand how it really is an amazing game for virtual reality in that sense, just because it's all about the exploring and what you're seeing. It's not like playing, you know, a game like Call of Duty in virtual reality or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like No Man's Sky having that many different planets and that many different things to explore. Like, exploring is the game, in my opinion. Of course, you can build bases, upgrade ships, buy procedurally generated ships, you know, trade, get resources, build, do all this stuff. You can terrain manipulate, you can build racetracks. I mean, there's so much you can do in this game now. But really, the base and the real point of No Man's Sky, and of course they have multiplayer in there now, and once Beyond comes out, they'll have even a bigger, more like, not full-blown MMO. I mean, they say it's not really trying to be an MMO, but it's going to be more of that kind of game, you know what I mean, when they get that full multiplayer in there. So you're going to have that whole side of it as well. But I've always looked at No Man's Sky from day one. The real purpose of it is to explore. That's why you can go in there and name your planet, right? And go in there and scan a tree and name it like you're the first person to ever see it. Or go in there and scan a creature and name it like you're the first person to ever see that creature, right? That's really the main point of the game. And so you just imagine that is just absolutely perfect for virtual reality. It's perfect for VR, in my opinion. You couldn't get a better game for VR. You literally couldn't do it. So, you know, hats off to you, Hello Games. This is really awesome. I was not expecting this at all. I was not expecting this news. I know I saw a couple videos on it there on YouTube, and I was like, wow. I actually thought it was a joke at first. I really did. I was not expecting this to be coming out this soon. I mean, I thought maybe we would get No Man's Sky virtual reality at some point, right? But I just wasn't expecting it to be like that. Oh, and I didn't even mention the whole survival aspect of No Man's Sky as well, right? You know, you can have creatures that attack you. You can have weather effects that you got to try to get away from. There's a whole survival aspect to it on top of everything else, you know what I mean? It's not just like you're kind of going through this, like, no-harm roller coaster and looking at everything around you and nothing's really going on. There's gameplay, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can maybe not those plants specifically. Let me see if I can find something. Like this right here, right? You can mine this and then get resources out of it and then use that to build little shacks. I mean, it's a full-blown survival, you know, building, crafting game, right? It's got that whole aspect to it, but the cool thing about No Man's Sky is it's not limited to just, like, you know how Minecraft is. It's pretty limited. I mean, you do have, like, completely different worlds every time you get in there, but it's pretty much the same set of animals, same set of trees that can be there, You do have a couple different biomes in Minecraft and, like, you know, 7 Days to Die, all those other games. But the thing about No Man's Sky is every single time you go to a new planet, it could be anything, something you've never even imagined before, something you've never even seen before, right? Everything's procedural. You know what I'm saying? Like that right there, that wasn't, I mean, that could be only on this planet and not on any other planets. I mean, it probably is on other planets, but, you know, you can definitely run into things that are super, super rare in this game that you don't see in every day. So that's what people don't understand about No Man's Sky, how crazy that is, how you can go to planets for literally the entirety of your life, infinity and beyond of your lifetime. The next 100 years, you could sit here and go to planets on No Man's Sky, and you still haven't been to them all. That was the whole cool aspect of it from the get-go, dude. That's what was so amazing about this game. It was literally like exploring the galaxy if you could do that in real life in some kind of way. Of course, it does have more of a sci-fi kind of book cover type graphical effect to it, but, you know, like 70s book cover, which I think it's fine being like that, but, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that creature right there, that could be the only creature that looks exactly like that in this entire game, and if you don't fly down to this exact planet, you're not going to see that. You see what I'm saying? Like, and when they evolve their variation of everything even more than what it is right now, it's going to amplify that exploration aspect to it even more, right? So they've tried to improve upon that variation little by little by little over these updates, especially with Visions and obviously the Abyss and stuff like that. But once they really start improving and getting them more like those E3 planets, E3 trailer planets and stuff, that's when you're really going to start seeing the exploration become, I feel like more people are going to understand the point of the game, and they go in there and fix their discoveries page, make it look a lot better, make it where you can actually look at your creatures in full screen and rotate them and do all that. Once they really start getting all that down, I think that's when people are really going to start fully understanding the purpose of the game, you know, landing on a planet and really feeling like it's got enough variation to it that you've never seen that on any other planet and you might not ever see it again, right? They've got to get it to that point variation-wise, and they're close in a lot of ways, but like, for instance, this rock right here and those trees right there, I've seen those models before, you know what I mean? Maybe not that exact coloration, but I've seen those models before, but it's so cool how you can just, it's like if you get tired of this life-size planet, there's another full-blown life-size planet over there, and then another one way over on the other side. If you get tired of all that, you're only in one solar system, people. Fly to another solar system. And then, listen to this shit. This game is just, people just don't, man, they don't get it. But it is so awesome that No Man's Sky and Hello Games, I'm so thankful that they have not given up on this game, because it is a one-of-a-kind, truly unique. It's just as big or bigger than the boom of, you know, Minecraft and all the battle royales, and it's just as big of a boom as every bit of that ever thought about being. As far as in the gaming genre, it's massive. It's massive what this game has been able to already accomplish, and they're still pushing, still trying to work on it, still trying to give you that experience, right? But like I said, you know, you're right off in the sky. Like most survival crafting games, you would just be on one area like that. You know what I mean? Or maybe a couple different biomes on one area like that. But I don't even think hardly any of them other battle royales. I mean, they have some difference in biomes, but not like this, dude. You know, this is not pre-made. Artists went in there and made every little thing on this. It's procedural, man. People don't understand that. So you can get just a plethora of different stuff. But let's just say, you know, you get tired of both of these planets, right? Okay, you're just in one solar system. Look at all these solar systems, dog. That's one. These are not individual planets. These are individual solar systems, right? What is that? 5, 6 planets and a moon in one solar system. This one's got 2 planets on it. Full life-size planets. This one's got 35,000 planets on it, right? And then you might think, oh, well, that's the whole game, right? All of those solar systems right there, because that's fucking insane. Bigger than any game as far as, like, area that you can walk on than any other game has ever been in the history of mankind. You would think, oh, that's insane. Look at this, dude. I just want you to, Just check this out, dog. Okay? Hang on just a second. Like, I just want you to look at this. You can literally sit here and go forever. Look at all these solar systems. It just goes on forever and ever and ever. And that's just one of the galaxies in the game. There's multiple different galaxies, right? Like, people they don't understand the scope and the scale of this game. I'm telling you, when it gets to that point of having that true variation where it's just, you can see so many different kinds of things in the game that every single time you go to a new planet, it feels like a whole new experience. It's going to be the game of all time, I promise you. This game has every bit of the base and potential of being that game of all time, and them getting into there with the Beyond and adding that full multiplayer and going to be putting in the full virtual reality. This is one of the most, they actually said something about once they implement the virtual reality, it'll be one of the most owned virtual reality games of all time currently, because it'll be the same game as the original No Man's Sky, you know what I mean? But just in virtual reality. So it's not like you're buying a separate, like, No Man's Sky virtual reality. It's the same game. You just play it in virtual reality. You see what I'm saying? There's no separation between the virtual reality mode of the game and the normal mode of the game. Zero separation. That's how all the games should be, right? But they don't have that figured out. And Hello Games and Sean Murray have just been so clever, and so, to be able to even make a game like this is insane. That they could even come up with the ability to do this is insane. It's groundbreaking. It's just every, all the above, right? But then to be able to do it on a PS4, even more insane, okay? And then all the little things they've done, like being able to build a base on any planet. You can build a base on any planet. I mean, just imagine that. At the beginning, it was like you could only have a base on one planet in one little area, like most other games are. Then they updated it to where you could put any base on any planet, and as many bases and as many structures as you want to build. I mean, there's pretty much no limit to it. This is the game of no limits. Truly, it truly is. I know that doesn't seem possible, and it's like, oh yeah, Spencer, sure, people don't really want to believe that, but I'm telling you. And then now with the virtual reality, they've figured out a way to actually get the full game in virtual reality in here, dude. Like I said, this is going to be the first real virtual reality experience I have in any game. It's going to be the first time I do it. I'm going to sack up and pay the money for virtual reality. It's time now, dude, because this is the game I want to experience that in. So it's going to be so cool how much more that gets you into each one of the planets and how much more alive everything can feel like that. That's what's so cool about, a lot of you guys that play No Man's Sky on PC. I recommend you go play this game on an actual big TV screen while you got it all dark in the room and it's just a big TV screen at nighttime playing this game on your PS4. That is a whole nother level, a whole nother experience of playing No Man's Sky. And then virtual reality is just another layer even past that, right? Because obviously you're seeing it all the way around. You're not just seeing it on a screen anymore. So this is going to be a giant leap, a giant step for not only No Man's Sky, Hello Games, the whole genre, the whole survival exploration genre of the whole 9 yards of it, but also a super big leap for virtual reality in general if they can pull that off like they're talking like it's going to be. Basically, they've already announced all this stuff that it's going to be exactly like the original game, just in virtual reality. I mean, literally, they say that you can wave. You know how you can wave in a lot of those virtual reality games. You're going to be able to do that to other people multiplayer in the game that don't even have virtual reality. So they can see people that are in the virtual reality, and you can see people that aren't in virtual reality. So it's going to be like a seamless between people that have virtual reality and the people that are playing it not in virtual reality. So you can experience this game in so many different ways. Whoo, doggies. This is like, it's sending chills up my spine because this is the kind of stuff that this game needed so bad. Just needed so bad. And it's going to open up the doors for so many more people to get into this game. They released it on Xbox, put third person in there, did so much with Next. And Beyond is just even more beyond that, man. So it's going to be an absolute experience and a half. I'm so excited to cover this game more. I'm going to start doing a lot more videos on this game. Sean Murray Hello Games, I'm going to start doing a lot more content on my channel on this, especially with Beyond. Especially start adding that variation like your original E3 planet design stuff. Megalodons under the water, crazy huge creatures, all that kind of stuff. I will start covering this game. I'll start playing this game every day if that's how the game becomes. We were all so excited on how this game was going to be like at the beginning, and we had all these expectations because the way they were kind of painting and putting off this game to be, but they're starting to deliver on a lot of those ideas and a lot of those things they wanted in it, and I just wasn't expecting that in a million years for them to really stay on it and do it to this extent. Here we are almost, 2-3 years later after the game came out. They're still working on it, free updates, doing something as massive as full-blown virtual reality in this and full-blown multiplayer. These are all just absolutely gargantuan aspects to this game that are going to do massive things in the long run for it. I mean, it's going to be insanity. So I recommend you guys picking up this game right now if you don't have it. I'm an advocate all the way of this game, been that way since day one. I know they had their struggles. I know it wasn't the game they promised at the beginning, but they're getting there. It comes down to it. It's like all the updates are free, so they're smart in that sense, and they're trying to deliver that game you wanted from the beginning. You may be mad at Hello Games and Sean Murray for kind of ripping you off or whatever you want to think, but they're giving it to you. It's just a couple years later. So it's like you can still experience that No Man's Sky that you always wanted. It's just you got to be able to realize that it's getting to that point, where it's starting to become that game we all wanted from the beginning, and you got to understand that. And I think if you do, a lot of you guys will pick up this game and recommend it to your friends and start playing it with your friends. Full-blown multiplayer going to be in there with Beyond. So we got a lot coming in the future, guys, and I'll be covering every bit of it. I love this game to death. One of my most favorite games of all time, even at its current state. It just mind-blowing, mind-boggling. I don't even have any words for it, man. So either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.